Hi y'all, I was starting to make a baby rattle when the thought occurred to me that I could repurpose an old wore out tool and make something that I call a cat's claw for doing captive rings, and that it would be a really handy tool for this. My name is Mike Peace. I'm here to share with you my passion for wood turning by sharing with you tips, tricks, techniques in order to help you become a better wood turner. I'd made one of these tools in an earlier video, a smaller version, at a 1/4-inch rod. It works well for coffee scoops and goblets, but I thought, and I'll have a link to that video at the end of this one, but I thought, you know, a larger one would be a lot easier and handier when I make these baby rattles. And I'll have a link to an earlier video I did on making these baby rattles at the end, also at the end of this video. Alright, here's the profile of this tool that I reground from what appears to be about a 3/8 inch wore out spindle gouge. And you can just see the shape of it. And this is for captive rings. Let me show you how I ground it. Using my coarse wheel, this is 80 grit, holding it sideways on a platform like this, I just went back and forth until I ground it flat on both sides. Then I tilted it slightly and tilted it until I got just a bit of a bevel where it's a little thicker on the back side than it is on the front side. Then, because I have a profiled wheel, I was able to come in with it flat on the platform and just get most of this shape by just rotating on the wheel on both sides, like that. Then for my last step, I used a Dremel stone. Let me show you that. Again, because I've already ground this, I'm not going to grind it again, but I want to show you, I have one of these Dremel type packages with all these 15 million attachments of drum sanders and stones and everything. So I found one that was pretty close to 3/8 of an inch, and then I just simply came in flat like this at a low speed and just ground it out until I got a round profile. Now I rounded this end slightly so when I come around the beading ring it would not get a sharp edge scratching it. On the top edge, I had this thing ground back, not round, because once you start in on the bead and it goes deeper, you know, it needs to have some clearance back here. Let me show you how it works. So this is a handy tool for doing captive rings such as this. Now, generally the only place I use captive rings are on baby rattles and occasionally on a goblet. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to part where the ring's going to be and make it just slightly over 3/8 inch wide. Give yourself a little clearance, come back. You bring it down to about where just a little bit wider in diameter than the final shaft is going to be. I'd say that's somewhere, I'd have to measure one, but it's probably over a 1/2 inch. Probably closer to 3/8 of an inch. Because you're going to do some final adjusting at the very end. Now you're going to use a spindle gouge to actually turn that bead, laying on its top, lifting it up. Lift, roll, and swing. Lift, roll, and swing. And adjust. Now obviously you're going to sand all these before you part them off. And I've got a video on making a baby rattle with a captive ring. I'll have the link to that at the end of this video. Alright, you need to have the tool rest just far enough back where it'll support on the roll, the round bar. coming in flat or slightly with the handle slightly up, because let's face it, this is a scraper. We're going to come in here like this, and we're going to come behind it a little bit. And then I'm just going to rotate it, and then come in on the other side. Now let's cut through. And there you are. So you can see that could be a handy little tool. Now I had made one earlier from a 1/4" rod. Let me show you that one. I wanted it a little more rounder so I could kind of use this rounding to guide the profile on the bead. So I'm happy with this. I used an old tool handle that it was just sitting there, drilled a bigger hole. I didn't even glue this in, I just stuck it in. Now to sharpen this, all you got to do is take a diamond hone or CBN hone and just flatten the sides a little bit, rub it like this on both sides. These two surfaces, this surface and each side, got to meet perfectly square. So I hope that was useful to you. Y'all stay safe and come on back here.